Ciao! So this video starts off with a little plot twist. I forgot to turn the microphone on. Classic, right? But don't worry, I'm here with a voiceover to guide you through these first few minutes. The good news though is that the recipe is absolutely worth it. So let's dive in. Today I'm cooking a joint of lamb, specifically a piece of the shoulder. This cut is a true classic for Christmas feasts in Italy, especially in the south. It's rich, flavorful and absolutely perfect for celebrating the holidays with family and friends. But first things first, I'm patting the lamb dry with some kitchen paper to remove any excess moisture. This step is key because a dry surface helps the meat brown beautifully, giving it that irresistible golden crust we all love. Now I am scoring the lamb with a knife, making deep cuts into the surface. These aren't just for decoration, they will help the marinade I'm about to prepare seep deep into the meat, ensuring every bite is packed with flavour. Time for the herbs. I'm chopping up some fresh rosemary and sage. This combination is a match made in heaven for lamb, and it is a staple in Sicilian cooking. I'm adding galag to the herbs now, and let's face it, galag makes everything taste so much better. Then I move everything to a large bowl, add salt, pepper and a generous drizzle of olive oil and give it a good stir. The rosemary, sage, galag are already working their magic and the smell is just incredible. Now it's time to apply the marinade. I'm making sure to coat the entire surface of the lamb, paying special attention to those deep cuts I scored earlier. It looks and feels perfect. This lamb is ready to absorb all the flavour. Next, I'm adding half a glass of dry white wine to the bottom of the oven dish, not directly over the lamb though. This wine will create a lovely aromatic steam as the lamb cooks, keeping it moist while letting the marinade stay exactly where it belongs, on the meat. Now for the potatoes. I have peeled and chopped them and I'm soaking them in cold water for about 10 minutes. This helps remove some of their starch, which is the secret to getting that perfect crispy exterior while keeping the inside soft and fluffy. And that's it for the voiceover. The audio is about to return to normal now, so you will hear me in real time from here on. Thank you. So if everything worked to plan, there should have been a voiceover up until now. Unfortunately, I forgot to switch the mic on and we didn't realize. So there you go. I'm now ready to deal with the potatoes next. And I've actually rinsed them from the water so that I've got some fresh water now here. And I will part boil them so that they don't take so long to cook in the oven. I'll put them on the hob and I will take the water to the boil and then I'll leave them to boil gently for 4 to 5 minutes so that they get nice and fluffy. And I've just drained the potatoes and I left them to cool down for about 4 or 5 minutes and I'll put them back in the pot without the water. I'm going to add a little olive oil, not a lot, just a little, maybe half a teaspoon, a little pepper, pinch of salt and a little rosemary as well. I'll place the lid on and I'll give everything a vigorous shake so that I make the potatoes nice and fluffy. And I'll show you. See, if you look inside, they've fluffered up lovely. The lamb has been in for 30 minutes, so in 10 minutes I will add them, but I'll see you then. In the meantime, I'll get on with the side dish, the mushrooms with the carrots and everything else. So I'll start with a little olive oil. I've got a frying pan on the go already. So I'm going to be a little bit generous because they need to fry quite well. And I've already pre-sliced my mushrooms. These are normal mushrooms, nothing special, but you can use champignon or you can use also the brown ones. What are they called, Julie?
Brown ones.
Brown ones. They've got a name. Nevertheless, they go in.
I don't remember either.
And I'll turn the temperature on high and I will leave them to release their water for 4 to 5 minutes. And by the way, I just remember the name of the mushrooms I meant. They're chestnut mushrooms. They're the ones that are slightly browner in colour.
I guess you could use any sort of mushrooms.
Any
really,
sort of mushrooms, as long as they're fresh, but whatever you like. So 4 minutes on, the mushrooms have shrunk considerably in size, and here they are. I've turned the temperature down as well. 2 reasons. Number one, because they were too loud, but also because I'm now ready to add some carrots and also some peas. These are petit pois and they're frozen, by the way. And I'll turn the temperature up again, medium-high, number 7, and I'll leave everything to cook together for a couple of minutes. And I'll mix them all together, of course, to ensure that the peas defrost and cook and the carrots also cook together. After a couple of minutes, I'm ready to add some galag, so a large clove goes in, including the rescuing of any on the inside, followed by a generous amount of parsley. Here, I'll just sprinkle it on top. This is parsley which I keep in the freezer. It was fresh when I froze it, and you can also use dry parsley if you do not have access to fresh parsley, or do what I do. click up here, there'll be a little link that shows you how I freeze my parsley. So I'll turn the temperature down now to medium-low, number 4. I'll mix everything together, and as the peas were frozen, they're still releasing a little water, so add the mushroom. But if you're using fresh peas and you find that it's a little bit dry, add a little water. But I will put the lid on and I'll leave it to simmer now for a good 10 minutes. So 40 minutes are up, time to get the lamb out. And there it is, and as has been cooking on a relatively low temperature, it's looking great. So back to my potatoes, and I will add them to the dish now, and I will just sprinkle them a little bit everywhere. And make sure that you rescue any of the herbs left inside your pot, of course. Now this is something which I do. It's not necessarily a Sicilian thing, but I love it. A couple of little onions, a red one and a white one. And I've peeled them, and I'll go and cut them in the middle like this. That's one, and here's the other one. And I'll go and position them inside my oven dish with the bum facing downwards. That's one. Make some space here, and so that they sit on the dish like this. And they will cook alongside everything else. They will get a lovely glaze on top, and they will be absolutely delicious. But before I go, a little olive oil on top of my onions, 1, 2, 3 and 4, but also on top of everything else again, including the potatoes. Fresh oil doesn't harm. And I'll put this back in the oven. Depending on how well done you like your lamb, you can go in for half an hour, but clearly potatoes are partly cooked, so I'll put it in for 35 minutes and I'll check it, and I'll let you know by the time it's done how long I put it in for. And back to my mushrooms. They've been simmering now for 10 minutes, so one more step, and you can choose to either add a little white wine, but I like to add a tiny little drop of white wine vinegar, not a lot really, maybe about 1 level teaspoon, enough to give a little bit of acidity that balances the sweetness of the carrots and the peas. But if you look at the bottom of my pan, has dried up a little, so I'm just going to add a little bit more water now. There you go. I'll turn it up so that the water quickly heats up, and I'll turn it down again, and I'll place the lid on, and I will leave it now for another 10 minutes. Enough time for the vinegar to release its flavors, and also so that I don't get that bitterness, and then they will be ready, and I'll see you then. So the mushrooms are done, and I have left them to stay warm with the lid on. All I've got left to do now is to add a little pepper, as I'm actually adding is also pepper, and also some salt. I like to salt my food at the end if I can. And it's all ready. The smell is wonderful. The vinegar has totally evaporated, and it is perfect. And I will put the lid back on, and they will be ready for when the lamb is done. So I'll get the lamb out now next. There are about just under 10 minutes left cooking time, so I will get the lamb out, because we don't want ours to be totally overcooked. So I'll leave it here now to rest for a little while. I'll put it on this board like so.
Smells delicious.
I'll go a recycled piece of tin foil, and I'll cover it, and I will leave it to rest now until the potatoes are done. This will make sure that all of the juices will go through the lamb and will be lovely and moist. But I'll put the potatoes back on. I'll give them a little mix first. I've already mixed them once, and I've tended the onions as well, and they will be in the oven for another maybe 7 or 8 minutes. I'll see you in about 10. Nearly there, and the meat has been resting, and I will be carving it now. I'm going to find the bone, which is here. Is it here? No, here.
Yeah, there.
And over here. So I think I'll start from over here, and it should be nice and easy to do, as has been resting. As I mentioned at the beginning, this is shoulder. You can also use clearly leg if you want, but I like using the shoulder for this particular type of roast because it's a little bit fattier and it releases considerable more flavor. But individual choices, I should say. I really love the shoulder in this particular case. And if you look, it's not as cooked as some might like it. It's still a little bit pink, which is perfect for us.
I think you've hit the bone.
You're right, I've hit the bone. Let's turn it around. I've hit the bone, as Julie says, and let's go on this side now. And look at that, wonderful. We like it like this. It's medium rare and it's perfect. So I have arranged my lamb on a Christmas dish already, and I'll continue by adding some of my other ingredients, and these are my mushrooms, peas and carrots. They can go in there. And here is the rest, sizzling away. Whilst they are in the dish, by the way, mix them with the oil so that they get covered in the lovely juice, including the onions, of course. And look how beautiful those onions are. Really looking forward to those. And I'll serve a few potatoes in there, a little red onion and a little white one. And if you feel like it, just pick some of the oil and put it on top of your potatoes, on top of the onion, and why not on top of the lamb. And I'll taste a little bit of everything actually, a little lamb, a little mushroom and a little potato. Do I need to say anything?
No, your face
It's
says it
wonderful.
all.
Really delicious, full of flavors, and those herbs in everything we've put in, they're beautiful and really lovely. Also, I should have said at the beginning, although this is something that they cook for Christmas and New Year, it's also something that an adaptation of it can be done for Easter. But let's focus about the birth. We will worry about the resurrection in a few months' time. Thank you for watching, and if you make it, I would be really keen to see how you get on and what you think. You don't have to make it for Christmas, of course, but maybe you can make it on Christmas Eve. Arrivederci, grazie, and buon appetito.